that you have taken the time out of your day, out of your morning, as we meet every single morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's go ahead and take a couple of nice, big, deep breaths. I'm really excited to be having the discussion that came to me as I was journaling before our call today. I really think it's going to be an impactful conversation um, for many of us, and we're going to be focusing on the power of prayer. So, one of the things that I also wanted to invite and encourage you to do is that in the comments, have you guys seen some of these YouTube videos where you go in the comments and there's just a beautiful prayer thread? That's really what I would like to turn our comment section into. So, if you have any prayer requests for anything that you would like to receive, go ahead and put those in the comment section, and any prayer requests or or prayers that you want to share. It could be general, it can be specific, it can even be a reflection of what you are working on. If there's something that you want to share in that support with, I want to be able to start opening up the understanding and the power of prayer. Um, so let's go ahead and just simply start with our invocation, our prayer to set the space. So, taking a couple nice big deep breaths, you can mirror me and place your hands on your heart if that feels right to you. But go ahead and connect your root chakra from your root all the way down to the center of the planet, to the center of Mama Gaia, and allowing that energy to just simply start flowing through your body, connecting into the root of her presence. Ia sia tonai wa uapua ka haakanai. Ia siatianea ia wapu unua haakaya. Ia siatarai ia wanua pu uakara. Ia wakarai ia kia tono konokura para kerekeo kurukuru kerekerkunu murkerkado kurukerkeo pota kerekeani a kia tarakia. Ia kia tiatea. Beautiful. So, some of you may have seen this information that's going around Instagram about what's going on in Iran, that there is an order out, or what's being said is that lawmakers have decided to prosecute the 14,000 protesters that they have been able to imprison, and they want to give them the death penalty to set a very clear example for the rest of the country to not protest and to not have an uprising. So the Iranian government is doing what they can to really enforce. I'm getting a bit emotional about it because as an empath, I'll be honest, I do my best to not watch the news. It is extremely hard for me to feel the pain of others at that level, because I do. And I know that the people who follow and watch my channel are also highly sensitive people. And so I also have a history of sexual assault from my early adolescence and on through my 20s. And so that level of oppression is something that really sits close to my heart. It's something that sits really, like I feel it in my body, I feel it in my soul, I feel it in the reawakening of the divine feminine. Now, I believe that my role is to play a strong role in the reawakening of the divine feminine on this planet. And I say the divine feminine as in the divine feminine Christ consciousness, through my own mentors and teachers, working through the Sophia Code, which is absolutely one of my favorite books. There's a lot of teachings in there through the lineage of Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Isis, and Hathor. I believe my light codes, my light language comes through the lineage of Hathor and the Syrian Star Nation. The reason I'm sharing all of this is because the origins of those teachings come from the Holy Land that is in that area, the Middle East, where there's been wars for thousands of years. But when we talk about the oppression of women, and when we talk about this desire to control a large population based on we'll say, religious programming that can be very, very, very thick in some areas, that don't allow for the freedom of expression, that use the power of belief and, in some cases, manipulation, as we've even seen in the Western society, in some cases with the history of the Christian and Catholic Church. So I want I want us to be able to understand that the power of prayer isn't necessarily, it doesn't have to be a religious association. I also recognize that a lot of my followers, or the people that tune into my messages, may not be religious, but you know that there is something greater in this world that is there. And if you are religious, you're more than welcome to be here as well. That to me, it makes no matter. What matters to me is how you feel in your body and how you feel in your own heart, and the golden rule that we are here to treat others the way that we desire to be treated ourselves. So again, please feel free to use the comment section as your power of prayer to be able to share with many, and the power of prayer to be able to request prayer when you are feeling that you need it. So I've also said for a lot of my life that I'm here to be a voice for the voiceless. I'm here to be a voice for those who have not been able to speak, which is why I use my Instagram handle, Sitara Speaks. Um, I have gone through, I can't even describe or tell you how intense the awakening and the opening of my throat chakra has been in my life, because it's one of my strongest lessons, to learn how important it is to share, to learn how important it is to speak, to learn how important it is to command a room when there is, the only word that's coming to me is when there's fuckery going on. They're like, we are here. The awakening of the divine feminine. I'll speak from my personal experience. I have a video that's called The Big T Trauma, where I actually talk about what has happened in my life that has taught me these things. But I had to get I was first sexually assaulted when I was 14. I told not a single person in this world about it until I was 26 years old. I held it inside. I did not speak about it. I did not talk about it. There were parts of my egoic consciousness that blocked me from being able to see it. So the constriction that I had in my throat led me to get my tonsils taken out when I was 18 years old. That is unheard of. But what I know now that I didn't know then is how energy manifests inside of our physical form where there are blockages. So to be able to learn how to use my throat or my voice, my creative channels, to open all of this up. And from the age of 26, really even up until now, there are still patterns that I witness and I see inside of myself that come from that one single event, that one single experience. And the level of self-sabotaging behaviors, lack of self-respect that I had, that just went completely out the window from having that experience that I was not conscious to. I have gone through so many different layers of healing and understanding how that one event changed so much of the trajectory of my teenage years and my early 20s. Thank God I found a way to my path of healing at the age of 22. And also the depth of pain that I was in was also what encouraged me to take that leap and to take that jump, to say, like, I have to figure out what's going on. So with that, I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, from the depth of my heart, believe that the divine feminine reawakening is coming through our sacred rage. I believe that women have not gotten angry enough. Women have not gotten fed up enough. We have not accessed the sacred nature of the intensity of those emotions, because the programming of being silent, the programming of not ruffling feathers, the programming of being a good girl, the programming of not stepping forward and saying, I am here, I am present, and I am participating, has been lost on us through the programming that tells us to be a sex object, The programming that tells us that we are not pretty enough, that we are too loud, that we are too bossy, that we're a bitch, that we are here to compete with each other. All of these things, they are deeply, deeply, deeply ingrained into the programming of our society. There's another example that's coming to mind of this that I think is very interesting, because we're all still looking to men as the role of authority figures. The turning of the wheels is starting to change, where women are also respecting women as leaders. But for a very long time, women were not looked up to, and women still are not looked up to as leaders. I started this path for myself when I was 22, as a 22-year-old female. When I started leading meditations and I started leading classes at the age of like 24 or 25. And still, I knew that there was a stigma around my age, and I knew that there was a stigma around my gender. So when we look in the world of the coaching industry, when we look in the world of spirituality and self-development, a majority of those leaders in the industry that is wildly dominated by female participation are still males. I'm using these as an example because we are in a Western culture. The United States is known to be very forward or progressive with the equality and balance between men and women. And we are still fighting the battle of equality. And the thing is here is that there's a bit of a mark that's being missed. It's not necessarily about equality, because I also don't believe that men and women are equal. We are built differently, but it is a matter of respect. It is a matter of respecting intuition. It is a matter of respecting the sacred qualities of the divine feminine, which is creativity, which is art, which is music, which is intuition, which is being able to connect with the voice and the heartbeat of Mama Gaia. These are the divine feminine qualities that are reawakening within every single one of us, but have been destroyed, absolutely destroyed. Do you see any female priests? Do you see any female preachers? Do you see any female spiritual leaders in religion? No, you don't. There is a devaluation of the sacred feminine qualities that exist in all of us. Men feel deeply as well. Men are very in tune spiritually. Men are also have very strong intuitive gifts. So the balance in this, the reason why I'm talking about all of these other examples, is because I want to shed a light or shine a light as to why there might be such an important circumstance and situation going on right now in Iran. The women that are there, that are being wildly oppressed, that this event started with a woman who was murdered, 22-year-old woman that was murdered for not wearing her hijab in public. That is why the outcries have been happening. That is why the outrage has been happening. That is why these younger women that are absolute warriors, that are standing up together, knowing that their fate may be written in the stars based on them using their voice and based on them standing up for what they know in their hearts is wrong, and using their voice to stand up for what is right, which is simply that they have the freedom to express themselves. So, when we come back to the power of prayer and why I want to start using these meetings every single morning, I want to see in the comments a prayer thread. A prayer for humanity, a prayer for your family, a prayer for yourself, a prayer for what you are creating, a prayer for your own expression, a prayer for the expression of others, whatever it be. But have you ever taken a moment to think, when you've seen those pictures of thousands of monks sitting and praying for the peace of all humanity, have you ever taken a moment to receive those prayers for yourself because you are a member of who it is that they are praying for? Have you ever been able to feel that light coming into your body? Have you ever been able to feel that light illuminating that space within your own soul that knows the power of why you are here, that knows the presence and the beauty and the wisdom and the grace that you are here to embody? That right now, my friends, is not a time to go into hiding. Right now is a time to really find that inner strength within yourself and find the courage to embody your purpose, to embody the reason that you are here. If you are not yet clear on the reason that you are here to stand fully in your power, and if you are not able to envision what that looks like, and that you are not able to fully connect with that depth within your heart that is encouraging you, that is that inner fire that is pulling you forward, allowing yourself to come forward and allowing yourself to breathe deeply and allowing yourself to open your heart and allowing yourself to see the power and the beauty and the wisdom that is here for yourself. Because when you are embodied in that, your light, your open-hearted light, is a magnet for miracles. And the presence that you embody in the collective unconscious, and the prayers that you speak, and the prayers that you believe, and the prayers that you send out from the core of your heart, are wildly powerful in the collective unconscious. Because what we're really paying attention to here, and especially here in this channel, is we're paying attention to the frequency. The frequency of the intention is so powerful. The ripple effect of what it is that we're doing, the ripple effect of knowing that even just me sitting here using my voice to speak passionately about something that is horribly askew on this planet that we are all living on, which means we will feel the ramifications and we will feel the ripple effect of what takes place. And if they do prosecute those 14,000 protesters, and I've seen some horrible, horrible things also going around, that they will also, I don't even really want to repeat it, to be honest, that we are here to know that the power of our prayer can work miracles for the timeline that humanity collectively is choosing to experience at this time. That we know that we are here to be the bearers of light, that we are bringing the illumination through our intention and through our embodiment. This is why the course that I have, Embody Your Higher Self, is so important. It is not just a course. It is not just something that you're going to try to do and maybe see if you'll finish. It will literally change your life for the rest of your life, because once you illuminate and once you click that understanding in, and once you remember the divinity of your soul and why you are here, the rest of your life holds completely different meaning. Completely different meaning. And whether you find it through that avenue or not, like, I'm not soliciting here at all, but what I really want you to understand is that it is your responsibility and no one else's. Nobody can do it for you. For you to understand the true value of the power that you have just simply by being an embodied human at this time. We all knew consciously what we were signing up for. We all knew before we came into this planet at this time that we were going to be here for the Great Awakening, that we were going to be here for the end of the Mayan calendar, that we were going to be here to watch the shift of consciousness change on this planet, that we were going to be here for this period of witnessing the chaos and the light and the agendas that are going on here, potentially the end of slavery. It might happen in my generation, it might not. But the slave system that has been going on this planet has been going on for thousands of years. And we are here to participate in the illumination and the freeing of the souls that are here to be able to shift into a new prayer for humanity. And this isn't just on this planet. And I'm not going to get too much farther into that. But for those of you that have never really necessarily felt like this planet is home, there's a reason for that. And I encourage you to explore why. I encourage you to listen to the podcast that I have that is called Beyond the Physical. There's an episode that is me talking about my experience of visiting Telos. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, wherever you find your podcasts. But I highly recommend that. If you are one of those people who have known from an early age that maybe Earth wasn't exactly your home, that there was some part of you that didn't necessarily feel like you could fit in, or there was a homesickness that you couldn't quite explain, I encourage you to explore why that is. There's so much information out there. There's so much information that different people, that different humans, that different species from different galaxies have written down, have put out into the world. And when you are vibrating at a frequency where your ego structure is capable of being able to comprehend what that truly means in this world and what that truly means about this world, you will be able to receive that information. And it's there for all of us. You can find it wherever it is that you start looking. And trusting your inner being, trusting yourself that you will find exactly the right information that is needed. The reason that this matters and the reason I'm including this as part of this conversation is that we are here to have a very powerful and a very strong conversation about understanding the power of your embodied presence from a frequency standpoint, from an energetic standpoint, from a fifth dimensional standpoint. You are a multidimensional being. Your multidimensional self and your open heart is a magnet for miracles. The power of your intended prayer, the power of your written prayer, the power of your spoken prayer, the power of your typed out prayer that we will see and that we will read and that we will think and that we will receive will then become even stronger because it comes from a thought came in your head and it came out of your mouth and then it started a ripple effect. So trust in the power of your words. Be intentional with the power of your words. Be intentional with the power of your connection. Be intentional with who it is that you came into this world to be. And please, please do everything you can to peel away the layers that are keeping you hidden. Because we need your message to be heard. We need your voice to be heard. We need your heart to be felt. So if you believe that your word is good and your heart is pure and you trust in yourself and you trust in the wisdom that you have to share, please share it, my love. Ia sio tuanaya ua puna haakaya tanai ia wa ua punua haakaya siatarai. Ia tuanaya ia wapu ua haakanai ia kia toroa kaya nia kotukurkai kuonukua pua sasatara kia nakai. Ia wapu nakai ia siatarai ia naya ia wapua kai. Ioa siatarai ia wanua pua katarai ia nikia kua pusakai. Satarai ia kua nakai kia tarai ia kua punuku kua satai kia tarai ia wanua pua ka. Susatara kia no kua pua kia tarai ia tunini kia. Kia tarai ia na ia kia turu kua mo satarakai. Ua na ia haaka sasatai ia turu unu mua pua pukarai kia nakai. Ia kia sia tarai ia wapuna hu ua ka tarai ia wapuna ua pua haakaya. Ia sia tarai ia kua pua kua. Go ahead and tap the crown of your head. Allow yourself to feel the opening of your crown chakra. Go ahead and tap your chest. Little biohack. If you're feeling anxious or you're feeling worried or you're feeling fearful, you can place your hand on your heart right here. This is a comfort point. But if you're moving energy through your body, again, tension or anything, tightness in the chest, you can go ahead and tap, 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 tap. So nice big deep breaths, allowing yourself to receive your own prayers. Please spend some time in silence today, grounding into the rootedness of the earth and sharing your prayers for the women in Iran, the women globally, men and women globally. Right now, our sisters that are there, they need our support, they need our love, they need our light, they need our appreciation. What the courts have ordered, what the laws have ordered, it can't happen. And I really believe that our hearts, our prayers, our light is going to do a lot to be able to open up streams of consciousness that will also allow the men that are in these communities or the men that are in these countries to be able to illuminate the consciousness within themselves, to be able to see that the pain that their women, the pain that their sisters, the pain that their mothers and daughters are feeling is also a pain that is living within them as well. And so may we pray for peace and harmony, illumination of the light within. May the violence end. May the violence stop. May this life force energy that's being used to oppress be used to create compassionate beauty, wisdom, and harmony. And may your illuminated heart become a magnet for miracles in your own life, in your own world. May you find the courage to use the power of your voice and the power of your wisdom to create ripple effects in your own community. So thank you so much for joining me here. Of course, I encourage you to bring one of these journals home, one of these coffee mugs, have your morning cup of joe here. All of your purchases, of course, support this channel, keeping the operation flowing and growing. And if you are feeling ready to transcend and rise with me, please do send me a DM on Instagram at sitara.speaks and just send me a DM that says rise. There will be a conversation that has started to gather some information to see where you are. If you would like to dive a little bit deeper, a lot deeper, with a group program that I will be running. So I love you. I adore you. I'm so thankful that you spent this time with me today. Thank you for your prayer thread in the comments. I look forward to reading every single one of them. And as we go forth, may we integrate the healing and the lessons received, our courage, self-love, and compassion. Our session here today is complete. Mwah.